Hello, shiny Pitchfords hopefuls. I wanted to talk to you today about what to do if you don't get into Pitch Wars. The numbers don't lie. Over 2,000 people applied for Pitch Wars last year, and only 140 places were to be had. A lot of people might not get in for various reasons. The reason might actually be that your book is so polished it's ready to query, and hopefully if that's the case, then mentors will let you know this when you apply. It might also be that when mentors are making their choices, something in your manuscript just doesn't resound with them as much as something else did elsewhere, and that's completely subjective. It could be that a mentor has read something that's similar to something that happened in their own life or touches something that's close to them, and they just love the manuscript for a reason that has got nothing to do with yours, has no bearing on your work or on your ability as a writer. We know plenty of mentees, Tomi and I, from our group last year, who had tried to get into Pitch Wars for several years, or who had gotten into Pitch Wars the previous years but hadn't gotten an agent, or who had written several books before and still never managed to get an agent. So the point is that just like in anything else in writing, never ever give up. If this video is a bit shaky, it's because I'm holding the camera with my hands. Sorry. Anyways, you are already in the upper percentile. Firstly, not because you heard of Pitch Wars and applied, but you're in the upper percentile because you found something which can give you a leg up in the industry, and you are in the minority of writers that finished a book and applied to it. You are learning from your peers, you're learning from the mentors that have shared information online as you were applying. You are ready for critique, you're ready for hard work. You're in a place in a community where you can get critique partners and beta readers, even if you don't get in. You're learning what it is to revise and prepare your book to be ready for an agent or for an editor. And you need to know that Pitch Wars is not the be-all and end-all of the publishing industry. Even if you look at last year or the previous years, there are mentees that got in and didn't get an agent through it. They got an agent on their second book or their third book, or they're still querying. So it's not a magic ticket. It can help, it can open doors, it can speed things up, but sometimes it just isn't the right timing for your book, or the book isn't the right fit for the industry at the moment, or whatever. The industry is super hard to break into, let's be real. So even getting in doesn't mean that your career is just set, and that's it, and you never have to worry about anything ever again. So my encouragement to you if you don't get in is to use this time to go out and find critique partners. I've spoken about critique partners in a previous video. Whilst your peers are still online, the others that didn't get in, speak to them, reach out. Just because you guys didn't get in doesn't mean there is anything wrong with your book at all. Literally, there's only so many places and probably triple or quadruple the amount of books that are ready for Pitch Wars, but each mentor can only choose one. There can only be one. So use this time to reach out to your peers if you haven't already, swap manuscripts, because both of you, many of you, groups of you, hordes of you, have time now to be able to find beta readers and critique partners, and those are so important. They are the ones that are going to be making your book as good as possible and give you the best shot at getting agented. And don't give up learning, revising, and connecting with others, and continue to meet. I remember I made a huge folder of all of the revision things that I learned from mentors before I got into Pitch Wars. And everything that I learned or links that I found, even other mentees sharing stuff, you can find on the extras, I think it's called extras tab on my website, which is www.kestergrant.com, KESTERGRANT. So you can find all that stuff there. And anything else that you found, just keep it and use what you've learned for your next book. And remember, you've put yourself out there, which is another huge thing. A lot of writers are too scared to put themselves out there. They're too scared to show anybody their work, let alone a friend or a critique partner or a family member. You have taken a huge step to show it to actual strangers, not just strangers, people who you might consider as not experts, but like people who are quite well known in the industry. That is massive. I mean, massive. So you're putting yourself out there. You're winning already. And I know several stories of people who didn't get into Pitch Wars, but then got in through Pitch America, which is run by Laura Paul. I think it's how I say your name, Laura. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced. or pitchmas, or other things which have the word pitch in, but I cannot remember their names. Various different competitions. So this is not the end of the world. I know it feels terrible. Your feelings are entirely valid. Take time to mourn, take time to regroup, take time to talk to others and vent if you need to vent. That is totally hundreds. But get back on the horse. Someone recently said, I think it was in one of the videos that we recorded the live. I think it was in the mentors live chat that I was in. I think it was probably the advice bit right at the end. Someone, she had heard, it was a lady and a mentor, she had heard someone in the industry who said that over the lifetime of their career, the writers that they found successful were not necessarily the best or most talented writers. The writers that were successful were the writers that never gave up, were tenacious, and kept getting back on the horse. I added that horse bit at the end. That was me. So paraphrasing completely. Guys, I love you all. Be fierce, be brave, and may the odds be ever in your favor.